Okay, yes, I want to explain a little bit more about the prequel, yeah, of the Caribbean of the Pirates story, because I must say it's a little bit confusing to talk about. You can follow the Caribbean of the Pirates story on my channel. Yeah. There is a spin-off story with Athena, but you can put that at the side, because the prequel is about the Caribbean of the Pirates, what happened before take one. Yeah, you can find it on my channel. So yes, take one, the Caribbean of the Pirates. Take one. In that take, let's say Jacky Spiral going into the city, looking for his crew, getting his black beacon, his ship. Let's call it the black beacon. To get his ship back. Then meanwhile on the sea he crosses the embark. That's another ship. His very good friend, Captain Black Eye. Yes, and together they go on a journey. Anyway, let's take one. Called Iceland X of the Caribbean of the Pirates. So I'm gonna write a prequel story of a couple of chapters what played before take one, but I don't want to, let's say, it's early to say, but my intention is within the story of the prequel. I don't want to have many years in between in the story itself. I want to have the story played off in the same time frame as take one, yes, of the Caribbean of the Pirates. So the last two chapters will explain what happens with Jacky Spiral and Captain Black Eye, why they are separated, and what happened to the crew of Jacky Spiral, and because they are away from the Caribbean also, because in take one they go back to the Caribbean, or intended to go back to the Caribbean, and so it explains what happened there, yes, and how he lost his ship, the Black Beacon. So the last two takes, especially the last part or the last chapter of the prequel story of the Caribbean of the Pirates, it must fit right into take one. Okay, to explain it in a very simple way. But yesterday I wanted to write the first chapter, let's call it chapter 1 of the prequel, and I wanted to intended to start with Jacky Spiral and his parents, his father and his mother, around that, and then building up the story. But I don't want to do that in that way. I came across the idea because otherwise there will be the story will be too long. So I want to have 6 or 7 chapters. I will see how much it will be, but I started off with an intro, and that chapter, the prequel will have an intro in chapter 1, and the last chapter it will have an outro, the same thing that I did with Athena and the Looking Glass, in the same kind of way, but the in and outro, it must sound like with the in and outro of the Caribbean of the Pirates, yes. Like take 1, take 2, 3, take 4, 5, 6, and so on. So yes, I write it down. Let's see. If I have ideas, I put it here. I have quickly some always inspirations that I can use for the prequel story, so I write it down here. I can use it for the chapters. And so, what must I say? So yes, yesterday I wanted to kick off the story. I said to myself, okay, I want to have a starting point and building up from there. It's not easy, to come up with something, especially in the big, if you have something starting a foundation, then it's easily to building up a story. But I thought, okay, first I have an intro, the prequel, and then track 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and until track 11 you will have also a kind of explanation, of that story. And then it will also explain what happened to the governance, because they in the Caribbean of the pirates in that story, they were hunted down by the governance, yes, and by the pirate hunters and so on. So there will be some explanation about that also, but I wanted to kick off the prequel story with an adventure. It will be many adventures that I have in mind for the prequel saga of the Caribbean of the pirates. So yes, from track 11, you have 12 tracks there. From track 11 the story began. Jacky Spiral and Captain Black Eye are already together, very good friends, and the story begins there, and heading to the let's say journey, exploration, what's all about in that chapter. So yeah, it will be very interesting. And so what I will do, also the titles are very long, I can show you maybe a little bit. So I want to have, if you can see it, I want to have a very long title. Maybe some will have double that long, each track, So I wanted to have it much longer than previously on the other stories of the Caribbean of the Pirates. So, but it will be the Caribbean of the Pirates, the title as normal, then the prequel one of, I don't know how many chapters totally that I will have, and then you have the name of the chapter itself, okay, what's all about. So an intro for chapter 1, in the last chapter you will have an outro, yes, and the last chapter must fit right into take 1 of the Caribbean of the Pirates. So yes, the story actually, the actual story begins here, track 11 and then 12. Anyway, so that's my intent, is to write first all the chapters, then I will take an overview. If I can change here and there, I will do that, but it must be then official. When everything is official, then I will create the art covers of each chapter. And then I can create the music, but that's for next year, and to create the art covers will be all for next year. So I want to have a great story, an interesting story, much more interesting than on the Caribbean of the Pirates saga in its totality. So I want to have a more interesting story in the prequel. So, but again, there will be some mysteriousness in the prequel. There will be also more finding out how the Black Bee came to be, with possibilities around that, you know. Then how he came across Lucy, would become later his wife, and then having a child together called Athena. And there will be maybe some explanation how he learning Captain Black Eye, you know, later in the story of the prequel. I will see about that, but the starting point is they already know each other, very good friends. The Embark is the ship of Captain Black Eye, so in fact Jacky Sparrow is part of the crew, yeah. And yes, and together they're heading for many adventures in the prequel. I cannot say more about it, but it will be very interesting to write about, yes. So yes, and we will see how many chapters I can create, yes. But the longer the titles, you know, let's say, there is no need to create 10 chapters, for example, yes, because I want to have a more clearer explanation about the story, to create each track title a little bit longer, yeah, than I did on the other stories of the Caribbean of the Pirates, even the spin-off story, you know. So yes, it will be very interesting. So yes, the Caribbean of the Pirates, yeah, and it will be called not chapters or takes, but it will be called the prequel one of, you know, let's say I have 7 chapters created, and it will be the prequel 1 of 7, then with the name of the chapter, then the Caribbean of the Pirates, the prequel 2 of 7, the name of the chapter of the second part, yeah, and so on and so on. So, okay. But that's like I said, you know, I will take my time to write the story. Yes, I have one idea today came across. You know, I can do a walk outside and seeing something or thinking about something. I have inspiration. I write it down, like I have today. So I write it down. I will use it for sure for one of the chapters. But next year, first, what I'm gonna do is to create Legends 4. Yes, that album with 7 tracks. And 3 tracks I will sing. It will be 3 songs, and the rest, the other 4 tracks will be instrumental music. So Legends 4 is the first thing that I'm gonna do next year to record. But in the meantime, you know, I can. By the way, I have already written the songs, the 3 songs for Legends 4. Yeah, in the meantime, I can write the story, the prequel, yeah, and next year to create the art covers of the story, the Caribbean of the Pirates, the prequel. So and then I hope around, let's say end winter time, you know, to start with the music. So there will be nature sounds of. It's a similar way of the story, the Caribbean of the Pirates. You know, just nature sounds, the sounds of the ship, you know, of their ship, and sounds of the pirates, and ambition sounds, you know, and you know, and then music, strings, piano, yes, even the organ can be heard here and there. I will see, but it will be interesting, a very interesting story. Yeah. more I cannot say, but I will keep updates, of course, about it, how the development of the story, of the prequel of the Caribbean of the Pirates. So and I just want to show you in a quick way. That's Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. The story is, in general, I like the movies a lot, and the character of Jack Sparrow, it's just amazing. And I created the story 3 years ago, and it was inspired by after I have seen the 50th movie of Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought to myself, I must create my own story about it, So of course then the Caribbean of the Pirates, I changed it into that, and I wanted to use some characters in the movie. I will show you that. That's the Caribbean of the Pirates is the last take, the final take of the story, the Caribbean of the Pirates. Yes, to Until's End. Yeah, the Caribbean of the Pirates reunion. Yeah, so that's Jacky Sparrow. It's in fact Jack Sparrow. Yeah, that's Lucy. I have invented that character myself, and then you have Barbossa. That's Captain Black Eye. Very good friends in my story. Okay, so yes, and Lucy is his wife then. So in the prequel story of the Caribbean of the Pirates, there will be he will meet Lucy somehow, knowing Lucy. He knows already Captain Black Eye. Maybe I can create some in one of these chapters. I can create create a story how he learned Captain Black Eye. So, and of course how the Black Beacon represents the Black Pearl. So how the Black Beacon came to be, and very interesting to write about. I want to create even a better storyline of the Caribbean. I like the series that I have made, and I love it. I enjoy it. A great pleasure to create the story, the Caribbean of the Pirates, even the spin-off story. I have no intent to expand the story, but it's nice to create something what happened before take one of the Caribbean of the Pirates, and like I said, there is a lot of stuff that I know already that I can use, like for example how the Black Beacon came to be, how he meets, how he learned Lucy, and the governance, how that came to be, and what happened, just before take one kicks off of the Caribbean of the Pirates, what happened just before that. So it's and then but before the end of the prequel, yes, what happened there, So for example, the governance, or what happened there, how that came to be, and the Black Beacon, how that came to be. So I have a couple of possibilities there, a couple of possibilities that I can choose from. So it's a lot of thinking work to work out. It will be nice, but I will keep updates. Yes. Of the prequel story of the Caribbean of the Pirates. See you then next time with the next update.